Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 here on Monday night. New week, new hope. Let's have some good information this week. Hi, Bill. Good to see you here. You're the first one on, buddy. I'm going to call Bill. Tell everybody when they come in, I'm going to go ahead and say the pledge, and I'm going to play the music, and then I'll be right back. Hi, Janet. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone that worked for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless
Hey, oops, trying to put an end to this. Good to see everyone here. Thank you. Let's see. Bill and Janet, I've already said hi to. Valerie, Ann, Tony, Beth, Sharita, Jamie, Russ. I think I got all of them that's up here. Guys, there's some things going around, but I want to talk to the children first. It's really hot here right now. It's starting to get very overcast, and I was talking with Marianne a little while ago, and she's facing possibility of thunder, lightning, and stuff, and I'm afraid we might be going to be high rocky. Valerie, good to see you. Jamie, she's facing possibility of possibly losing her power and stuff, and so I want to move on with the show as quick as possible. I don't know how long it'll be because I don't want to get in the middle of it and then it goes out. So I'm just going to address the kids tonight. Super Jimmy, Patriot 11, our princess, our queen, Hunter, her brother, Wyatt Earp, and Karate Kid, Little Leona and Little Elan, Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot 7, Patriot Small Hank, Patriot Little Monkey, and Patriot Kira. And all the other kids that want to be Patriots, I know on Patriot 7's baseball team, there's a lot of them that would love to be a Patriot. But, their parents ain't going to take the time. They can't take an hour 3 times a week to let the kids see what's going on, to let the kids see that there's people that really, really care for them. But then talking about the kids, it seemed like I was just more or less in a very bad mood not too long ago. Almost seems like yesterday. I had to pick Patriot Little Monkey up from school for the last time. The last time to go to preschool, and now next year she'll go to kindergarten, and Mommy will take her, and I won't be watching her. And I remember doing that with a tear in my eye, truthfully, a couple of them. And now I went by schools today, and then I get home, and Ron tells me, oh, Amber just posted that she took the kids to start signing them up for school. Wow. Where's the time going? I posted something on Facebook the other day. It was a 9-year anniversary. Me and my daughter, Patriot Super Gymnast, who was just plain little Ella then, and Patriot 7, who was just Liam, only a few months old, 9 months old, I think, at the time. And we were going over to Essex and pick blueberries. And we did. And we had a picture of it. And it's one of those things that we had a picture of. And I posted it because it was something that can't believe 9 years have went by. 3 more grandkids. And there's so many people who have their eyes closed. There's more kids that have their eyes open right now. As I said, there's so many kids that would love to watch these shows. They would love to talk patriotism. They would love to give their example of what they think it is. But it is what it is, and that's about all we can say. But for the kids, hang in there, because we're not talking to you here to ignore you. We're talking to you because we love you, each and every person here. Each and every person here loves all kids. So just know that no matter when you go to bed every day, when you get up every morning, you have a whole group of people here that love you, even if we've never met you. It's all about you kids. See, God took the greatest generation ever. He took the greatest generation ever and decided he's going to change the world. Why didn't he do it the generation before us or 2 generations before us? My mom and dad could still be alive. And we're going to get into a very good show tonight, guys. We're going to get into a very good show. But for the kids, just know we love you, and we always will. The other day was kind of bittersweet for me. I went to my great niece's graduation party. It was kind of like a graduation party and a going away party because she'll be leaving soon to go to Bloomington to Illinois State. Her best friend was there and lots of people were there to turn out, but it was kind of bittersweet because when I came home, I stopped at Ron's and we We did some things together. We did some things together, and the things that we did, just watched some ball and talked about sports and talked about patriotism. And then I went home, and everybody knows me knows I have 5 kittens. These 5 kittens, I used to have 6. One passed away last year. But anyway, I went home and my grandson looked at me and said, "Grandpa Hank, we got a dead cat out in our yard." And I says, naturally, I start thinking one of ours, because the little granddaughter, little Kira, is at the point where she can open the door now, but she don't want to close it. And with 5 cats who are house cats, it is not a good thing. So anyway, I went out and I looked, and it kind of hit me, because this cat that was laying dead in my yard was a cat that I tried to get my cousin to give me about 9 years ago. But he didn't want to give it to me. He's our town drunk, and everything that he says is right and everything. And I'm glad that I really have cleared myself of things with him. He's not living in our town anymore, so we got to find a new town drunk. Who knows? Maybe I'll get on a bed and I'll become it. That ain't gonna happen. Sarita says hi, Ronnie. Sarita. But anyway, hi, Elaine. Anyway, I went out there, and this cat has been running. I don't think it's actually lived in a home for the last 5-6 years. Still a beautiful cat. Somehow kept his weight up, from just getting food. But then again, he showed up on my porch a lot. And even if he didn't show up where I saw him, there was always dry cat food out there. If it rained, I'd wait till the rain stopped and I'd put more out. And then I noticed one night, my window in my garage in the winter was open a little bit. And I went in, and he was all snuggled up in some blankets in the garage, sound asleep. So I walked over and I turned a heater on for him. But I made sure that he could get in that window at all times. And he's actually lived probably the last 5 years when he wasn't catting around in my garage. My son looked at him and says, "You going to help me with him?" I said, "Yeah." "What do you want to do?" And he says, "You want to bury him, or you want to take him and just throw him down in the creek?" And, and I said, "I'd prefer to bury him." So we did. Well, I can't tell you his name. He's family, and if they heard me, they'd, if someone would stumble upon this video, I could get, Dennis. He was kind of our guy. If we'd had a jail, he'd have probably put himself in jail, just like the guy on Andy and Mayberry did. But anyway, we do have some breaking news. Hershey is reportedly removing all artificial ingredients and food dyes from their products. That's good news. That's really good news. I had a lot of people really come out today and send me some stuff. Wait a minute. I got a phone call. Well, not a phone call. I got a message last night from Stephanie Strout. And Stephanie was in the hospital. I thought she said it was with her husband, and she told me what's wrong with him, and she said, but he's been checked out and they've got him under control, and we're waiting in the emergency room. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. We're waiting there to get released. They ended up waiting almost 2.5 hours to get released. And that's why we need these special beds, because a few minutes in these special beds and this man is 100% healed. So what are we waiting for? I have no idea. But we are going to discuss the special beds more. So, dear Lord, as we come into tonight's show, please look out for Stephanie, her husband, the family, and all her loved ones, that they stay healthy through this, and we can get them on these special beds, Lord. Lord, look after all the people who need your help, who need these beds, and all of us who was just on almost the edge of our seat with anticipation, but all we're getting is disappointment, Lord. And we're asking you to be with all of us, especially Stephanie and her family, and anybody else in our group or anywhere that needs your help more than just us who's on the edge of our seats. As we pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ, amen and amen. Now, in doing a little research with Stephanie, I noticed that in June she celebrated her 51st wedding anniversary. "51 years married to the same man." And I'm trying to find what she sent me. Anybody who hasn't been paying attention, XRP went up, actually hit $3. Just before the show, I checked it, and it was at $2.94. Rosemary Sproul sent me some information today. This is her and her husband back in the 60s and 64. Look at that hair. Beautiful woman. She also sent me some stuff I want to share with you guys, because a lot of times on the show, we talk about the prices. We talk about how things can do this and how things can do that, and how much better it would be if we was in them prices. Remember, we said we're going to go to the 55 prices or the 60 prices. But she had a family member that worked back in 64 at a restaurant. And the special of the day, this particular day, was a chicken salad sandwich with potato salad. 35 cents for the chicken salad sandwich. 50 cents if you wanted potato salad. Isn't that funny? Because today you can't even go to a restaurant and order 2 pieces of toast for 35 or 50 cents. Sandwiches that day: hamburger 25 cents, a beef sandwich 40 cents, a pork sandwich 35, cheese 25, cheeseburger 30, bacon and tomato 45, hot beef or hot pork sandwich with the gravy. And I'm assuming most of the time them come with mashed potatoes and gravy. Greatest hot beef sandwich ever in the world, Queen's Cafe in Kankakee, Illinois, when I was a kid. Huh? Hot beef or hot pork sandwich, 50 cents. Baked ham sandwich, 45. Boiled ham sandwich, 40. Barbecue, 35. Ham and cheese, 45. Lettuce and tomato, 25. And a steak sandwich, drum roll, 45 cents. Evening menu, because prices go up in the evening. French fried shrimp, $1.35. Club steak, $1.35. Medium T-bone, $1.50. Medium sirloin, $2.20. No, large sirloin, $2.25. Medium sirloin, $1.50. Chicken fried steak, 95 cents. Hamburger steak, 85 cents. Cheeseburger steak, 95 cents. 2 pork chops, 95 cents. Pork chop, 1 pork chop, 70 cents. Now remember, these are the evening menu. These are meals, not sandwiches. It came with a choice of 2 of the following: a combination salad, cottage cheese, French fries, hash browns, or applesauce. So you could get all of that for less. The most expensive supper at nighttime was $2.25. I just thought that was pretty amazing. As I speak to you right now, I'm just going in looking, and XRP is $2.94 and XLM is 45 cents. Remember, I'm not trying to get you to buy them. You should have bought them a month ago when they was down to 210. And this is a funny story because I know a person who has some money. They're very, very wealthy. And when they was at $2.10, this person said to me, I'd go and buy 1 million shares. I said, yeah, you should. But they didn't. I was talking to this person today, and I said, remember when you said when they was at 210, you should have bought 1 million shares? And she said, yeah. I said, at one point today, if you'd been watching the screen, it hit $3 instead of 210. So in less than a month, if you would have bought 1 million shares, you'd have made 90 cents on each share, or $900,000 already. You could have taken, when it hit that, you could have taken and cashed in $900,000 and still had your 1 million shares. You'd only been $100,000 down and still had 2 million. You could have cashed me. I mean, guys, I am not a financial advisor, but I believe that this thing is going to go. I'm not going to suggest you go buy. It's totally up to you. I know Cindy, she went and bought, and she's very, very happy. But I really felt good today because so many people were sending me these really good things. Marianne was the one that told me at one point it hit $3. But I want to thank everybody for sending the stuff in. Now, I got something today. Nope. I got to find the person. There it is. Mike Barra today was announcing that Rupiah was going to go for $1 to 130. It could hit 349. Dinar was floating for dinar float to $6 in 30 days, 47 cents for dong, $4.28 at Redemption Center, 11,650 per 100 trillion note, with 25% paid out that day and the rest tranched or whatever in 5 to 7 years. And see, I got to believe that maybe that was 11 million, because Mark Z has been pretty adamant for the last, I'd say, month, saying that he thinks we're going to get 11 million for every 100 T note. The Boulevard was supposed to go for $4.28, which I'm pretty happy at that. It's not the $18 that they said when I first bought it, but the amount I got, I mean, if it goes for $4.28, a $1 million note is worth $4.28 million. I mean, if someone just went out and bought one, but most people don't just buy one, not when we were getting them for what, 30 or 40 cents back then. But Mike Barra has some good stuff. But then later, I found something, and it said that the dinar is actually on the screens right now. But Iraq wants us to get our 800 number and be going to the redemption centers before they make it to the whole world that it's what it is. And they said on the screen it was $4 in some sense. I don't remember the exact thing. But we have to remember, and you can believe him or not believe him. I'm just quoting what he has said. And I've heard many other people, because I'm talking about Bruce, but I've also heard Wolverine and others say that when we go to the Redemption Center, we're going to get the high rate for these, and it's double digits. I've heard as high as $15 to $18. Ron's heard $20-some. The whole thing with it is I just want it done. And if they only want to give us $4 or $5, but it will get everything else done, let's do it. But Iraq does not want this to come out on the screens where the big time investors would say, oh, wow, maybe they'd start buying a bunch of currency then too, you know. But see, I think once the 800 number comes out, I don't think they should be allowed to sell currency. As a matter of fact, to tell you how my mind works, there's 2 different places, well, 3, because I started getting a little bit off of another place. But there's 3 different places I bought my currency from. And I was thinking the one I really like to go to. I thought about calling and say, hey, guys, you know this is about ready to go. And I know when I bought all my currency from you, I asked you, what do you think it's going to go for? And I mean, I built up a pretty good rapport because I sent a lot of people there that bought currency too. And they said, oh, this is just for entertainment purposes. Now, I have had a couple people talk to me when they weren't in work. We went back and forth chatting, and they said that they think it could go really big. So I got this crazy idea in my head. What if I call this company and say, hey, why don't you just give me a bunch, write it up like I bought it, I'll take it in, and then we'll all get a bundle out of it. Because I don't know if it's true, but I've heard these people that's selling it, what they have left, they're allowed to take so much for themselves, but they have a limit what they can take. And I'm thinking, well, you know, We can worse. But then, then I got thinking, no, because then we're getting right back into the cabal era where we're trying to work a system. Myself personally, and I'm talking here to Gary Shields. He says, "How do you keep believing in R and V and the special beds?" I'm 71 years old. I figure I got maybe 10 years, maybe a little more left without the beds. I believed in them for 17, 18 years ago when I heard Jared Rand talking about them. I have talked to a nurse who retired that says she will go back into the nursing field when they're announced. She has been trained on them. Now, my question to you, sir, is why do you choose not to believe in them? Because they haven't went like we were. This is all on the hat and the military. They're in charge. They can pull the string anytime. That's my opinion. Steve, I'm sorry you feel played about what's going on. Russ, where did you hear that we're only getting 2 cents for the boulevard? Where did you hear that? Thank you, Janet. Yes, you're right, Janet. They are in charge of the bids. So, I guess this couldn't come at a better time. He died, but his dream never did. Nikola Tesla spent his final days in silence. No riches, no applause, just visions to advance for his time. In his last interview, he spoke of energy, a vibration of light that could heal the human body without a single touch. They didn't listen, but maybe now we are. But maybe we are now. The special beds isn't just new technology. It might be the echo of a dream Tesla left behind. The vision of healing through frequency, not force. Not a machine, a remembrance, a return to who we truly are. Ionic Care is officially powered by the special bed tech. Follow the official channel. Okay. Massive the Hat, all in capital letters, OBBBA, activated the Big G, funded Gitmo, expansions, dismantled the IRS, pulled 4.5 trillion from the deep state hands, the July 7th war manifesto that exposed global crimes against humanity. On July 7, 2025, President Donald the Hat didn't just sign a bill, he launched total war on the globalist parasites class. The One Big Beautiful Bill for America, OBBBA, was the first public Big G trigger backed by military intelligence, asset-backed finance, and sovereign justice. 4.5 trillion ripped from deep state claws, IRS neutralized, Gitmo expanded for biowarfare agents, child traffickers, and election meddlers, and the media blacked it out completely. The Big G protocol initiated while the fake media screamed tax cuts. The hat quietly activated stage one of Big G, ending debt slavery. OBBBA killed income tax and overtime and tips, doubled child child credits, and gutted the IRS and aligned with the quantum financial justice. Inside Treasury, QFS transition documents are circulating. By 2026. Asset-backed currency and Jubilee-style debt wipeouts will hit hard. The IRS already folding into classified QFS infrastructure. GITMO Phase 3 on the same day that had authorized the third expansion of Guantanamo Bay, 2 new wings for the child traffickers and deep state bioterrorists, the other for tribunals, 2.3 billion from the OBBBA budget marked for classified judicial infrastructure. The trials are coming. Walls go up to lock traitors in. 46 billion relocated to wall constructions, but not just for immigration. New containment zones are rising in Arizona and Texas. CBP insiders confirm not COVID camps, domestic traitor prisons. Watch for keywords: mobile tribunal platforms, overland containment logistics. UFC at the White House lawn, ritual warfare in 2026. The Hat and Dana White will hold a UFC on the White House lawn. This isn't sport, it's ritual cleansing of cursed ground. Elites once held satanic rites in that garden. Now it become a patriot battlefield, the Garden of Heroes. Monuments will stand tall, military whistleblowers immortalized in stone. The Hat's July 6th speech was a military broadcast. He said it plainly. The show just getting started. He prepared the patriots in uniform and silence. The devolution code, military operatives inside U.S. agency active since January 2021, secret GOG protocols. The media knows that's why they're silent. Why no headlines? Because they've seen the sealed indictments. They know what's coming. Big G arrest warrants for elites, QFS accounts frozen for election and pandemic crimes, MSM declared combatant propaganda under wartime law. This isn't a bill, it's the first missile. The Hat has gone hot. The elites are being hunted, and there's no way out. Deep Q exposes COVID ops, PSY/war, and shocking truths they're hiding from you. Then they ask you to join that program. So I want to show you a picture here. And naturally, it does what it always does. That's the little monkey. Mommy let her dress herself for bed last night. That's how she dressed herself. Forget the clothes. Forget the way she dressed herself. The smile on her face is worth $1 million or more. Now, as I'm kind of glancing at some of the things the people's talking about, I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to get frustrated. All I can say is join the club. Yes, David Duffy says, Steph, only a one-time tax on new things that are not essential. Anything you buy used, like you want a new house, but you don't want a brand new house, you go out and buy a house. It don't matter if it's $1 million house, you pay no taxes on it. That same house, if you buy and you have to pay taxes, it's going to be 15%, which is still down from some of the taxes. But as I was starting to say, I noticed there's some people that were starting to get frustrated, aggravated, demoralized. And I don't want to be one that says, hey, it's part of the show. But the reason I don't stay demoralized, guys, is because I have some great people helping me. Some night I'll get ready to leave. And I'll say, wow, I can't believe this didn't happen. Or I'll say something. And Ron will set me straight. The same thing will happen with him where he's like, he's ready to give up. And I help him. And then if that's not enough, there's so many of you. And just to name a few, because they did it this past 3 or 4 days for me because I was depressed. I fight depression to begin with. And I was depressed. Because, see, I'm going on other people's sites. Other people who have 50 times more followers than we have in our family. But you know, I've never, ever heard one of these people call their followers their family. I've never heard them say once how much they love them. I've never heard them, just chat with them for the right to chat with them and not have a little dinger go off that you got to pay a couple bucks just to talk to me. You're in Australia, Ian? Well, one of the guys I was talking about is from Australia, Wolverine. And it was on Wolverine's site, we're on Telegram the other day, and it was on The Chosen One with his buddy. What's his buddy's name, Ron? Ron. What's Wolverine's buddy's name? Carpathia. Yeah, if you heard it years ago and you bought $150 worth of silver a year ago, you're going to be in real good shape. I stay away from silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver. Who can tell me who sings that song the best? Who sings that song the best? Ron won, Burl Ives. But anyway, I was on Wolvie's site, and he was crying because it's been a long 6 years for him. It's been a tough 6 years for him. But I'm going to say something tonight about Wolvie. And I hope Wolvie is right. I really do. Because there's things out there called yellow dragon bonds. Yellow dragon bonds is out there. And Wolvie said he heard that you're going to get anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 billion dollars for each one. And I haven't cleared this with Ron, but I don't think I'm going to have any problems. For all of yous who think I do a decent show, even if you don't like me, even if you're one of the people that come in here just to make us miserable, if you're on the show right now, this doesn't count. This doesn't count if you come in and watch it later. I can check to see who's on in the chat. And if you're not in the chat, just somehow let me know that you was on. Because what we're going to do, if he's right about what they say that you're going to get for them bonds, them Yellow Dragon bonds, 1.5 to 2.5 billion dollars. Everybody on tonight, we're going to get $5 million to. That's my promise to my people. And if some other people come on, we'll give them too. Because if we get 1.5 billion, I don't care if I give one whole Yellow Dragon bond away. I don't think Ron cares. But we want people to be happy. But anyway, Wolvie was crying about certain things that I guess people are going on his site and saying bad things. Well, Janet, and I'm going to ask you because you're always there with a wrench. Plus, you're the only wrench I see on here right now. Janet, how many times have you taken people out because they've said something bad about me? It seems like it, wouldn't it, Sandra? Sandra says, isn't new beginnings, new era, new season, new changes? Well, I believe all of that's going to happen. You're not going to answer me, Janet? You've taken a lot out, yes. But see, I don't threaten the people. He has moderators on his channel. If someone says something they're not supposed to say, bash them out. If they come back in and they do it again, bash them out. If they come out a third time, remember, I'm a baseball player. And I had a dream about playing baseball last night, back when I was young, back when Ron was young. And man, you wouldn't believe how me and Ron could run. Back in our days when me and Ron were both younger, we could have went in and we could have let four guys run back in our days, it was a 440-yard dash. Now it's a 400 meter. We could have let any four people in our school run the 400 meter, except one, and he was Art Munson, another Buckingham guy. But if they don't get Art, any other four guys in that school, when Ron went to school and I went to school, we could have taken them, and me and him could have each run the 220, and we'd have beat them. We were fast. Might not look like it now, but, but what I'm saying here, guys, about Wolvie and all these people that are getting so uptight, because when you decide to do a show, you're going to have some people that's going to like you. You're going to have some people that's going to put up with you. And you're going to have some people that don't like you. And the ones that don't like me, I know Janet will take care of because I put my faith in her. And I know once it gets a little cooler, there's other people who start coming back on. But Janet, I'm going to put this to you, and you can let me know maybe Wednesday night if the other moderators aren't going to come on. And it's been pretty quiet, but if you think we need a couple more, 2 or 3 more moderators, yeah, you can, Russ. We're going to make sure everyone, when this happens, guys, everyone's going to have a place to live. Hey, you might want to come live with us. If our town won't let us rebuild it, Well, I'm glad I did that for you, Don. But Janet, if you think there's some people that would do a good job with you, I mean, we haven't had no trouble at all tonight. I shouldn't say that because now all HE double toothpicks is going to break loose, but I didn't realize it was 8:00 already. So let's see what Judy's got to say. We'll do a little bit of Judy here, and then we'll call it a night. But before I go, I do want to say this, guys. Whether we get the 800 numbers tonight, tomorrow, whether we just come on Wednesday night and we just have a call where we talk, thank you, Papa G. There we go. We got another wrench on here. Look at that. I talked about it. Wait, nice to see you here, John. Thank you for all the pictures. But anyway, I was reading that and forgot what I was talking about. Restored Republic via the GCR, for today, the 14th. Common law restored, quantum financial system activated, U.S. corporation dissolved, 1871 act reversed, expect EBS 72-hour blackout, 10 days global shutdown. The Hat Force 1 on Telegram, 13 July 2025. A lot of this stuff we talked about. But what I do want to talk about before I go, guys, is Telegram. I got a message from someone the other day and said Telegram's a place you got to be. This was supposed to be Junior. I follow Junior. I follow the Hat. I follow the actor, Mel Gibson. I follow our press secretary. I follow Lady Diane. And I thought, this is cool. Following these people, I'm going to get some really good stuff. Garbage. 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 With this new way of they can make people say whatever they want to say. They can do videos however they want to do. They can literally ruin people's lives if they want to. Just through this new stuff to make it look like it's them. I seen the Hat come on the other day and say, if you haven't bought any of my coins yet, if you haven't signed up for your quantum financial account, and he's just everything that he's told us, the real one or the one playing him, I don't know which. Everything totally 100% difference. And I just don't know what to believe anymore. But before I close, I will say this. When I was asked about how long we're going to wait, I'm going to, every day when I talk to God, and I have some very vivid talks with him because I'm not real happy at some days. And that's someone I can talk to. Yes. David, you hit it. You hit just what I was going to say about that. All of it's a scam. I'm going to go in tonight or tomorrow, and all these people that I just mentioned, I'm just going to delete their accounts. I don't want no more stuff from them. I thought our press secretary, when I first started following supposedly her, oh, great news. What you would get the press conferences that she has. You would get them. You would get, she wouldn't lose a battle. And I'm telling you, the real one the other day, she got into a little boo-ha-ha with Michael Strahan, the ex-football player who talks like he's chewing dog turds. I'm sorry. That's about the best way I can explain it. But anyway, he was trying to intimidate her. And she finally just looked at him and said, "Sir, you picked the wrong woman to try to intimidate." And I guess I haven't seen the video of it. I just read what happened. And they said the video went viral. I have not seen it. I haven't really been looking for it. I just heard about it just a little bit ago. But with that said, guys, we've been on for almost an hour. I'm going to say good night. We'll be on Wednesday night, unless I decide to do a Wednesday afternoon show. 93 people on here tonight that who knows? If Wolverine is right, you just got yourself $5 million. How many people's willing to do that? And I'm praying. And if it only ends up at 95 now, if it only ends up at 100 people, it may be more than 5. Think about it. I went crazy. Mike Davis contacted me and said, "Rob, did you get any of these?" And I said, "Yeah, I got some." He said, "Well, I'm going to order some more." And I said, "Well, you know what?" I got off the phone. And I thought, if he's going to order more, I am too. And I got kind of stupid what I ordered, but you know what? I could have just took it down below. See, I look at it this way. The currency I bought to everyone, I didn't buy anything for the first 3 or 4 buys. I was working myself through a divorce that I almost lost my house twice because of what happened to me through the divorce. And Ron put up most of the money. My brother Russ put up some. And then one day I finally got a little bit of money and I seen Zim and I went and bought, me and Ron and Russ each a $100 trillion note. I don't care. If they want to get technical and just give me a half a penny for every dollar, I'd be a happy, happy man. But if Mark Z is right and we are only going to get 13 million, but for a long time it was 75 million, and then Mark went to 33 million, and now he's down to 13. So I'm really hoping we get this going, but we have to remember one thing. If you went out and bought millions of whatever you bought, like the Bolivar, when we were getting the Bolivar for next to nothing, if you just went out and bought 25 of them, you didn't even spend $10 back then for 25 of them. That's 25 million. If you only get 20 cents on each one, a dime on each one, that's still $100,000. If you bought 25 of them, it's $2.5 million for less than a $25 investment. I got mine, Papa G. Do we chat on Messenger? I got my Yellow Dragon bonds on that one website. The one that sells everything. What is it? Amazon. I went to Amazon and I Googled in Amazon Yellow Dragon bonds. And they're really a cheap price. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I need to get something to eat, and I need to let my little dog out. I've had a lot of fun tonight. I hope the doubters, I helped you. I tell you something that will really help everybody too when you start doubting yourself. Go out in your yard. Go in your bathroom. Go somewhere where someone can't hear you talk and just start talking to God out loud. I used to talk to God every day in my head. I would think what I wanted to say. Didn't really do anything for me. But when I put him first and Jesus Christ second, and I started talking out loud to him every day, my life has changed. I mean, when you're told you only got 8 hours or less to live, and now you're in better health now than you were when 2 months before you got sick, you start believing, and I've always believed, but I just went on a wrong path. Work on your vibrations, work on everything. Just be happy, smile. Just smile, I mean. You know, I went into Jewel Osco today. Well, that's Jewel's now. They had burgers on sale, and when you can get them on sale, you get them, because otherwise you don't get them. You know, but where we go one, we go all. That's a good way to end it. Guys, good night. Where we go one, we go all. Good night. God bless. Me and Ron love you both. Love you all. Love you all. Good night, everyone.